Cool stuff. Ink. Get it? It's ink from a pen. Who writes this? Go to coolstuffinc.com, links in the description, and use code CIMO for 5% off. Rarin. Oh, do we have a video for you today? So the subathon's currently going on. It should be ending today. However, we did this with CGB. Chat picked the cards for you to look at today. What could possibly go wrong with this video? What could possibly? How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that?
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I mean, listen, every Yu-Gi-Oh card's ridiculous anyway, so how bad can it be?
That's true. That's true. So you're going to be going up against chat this video, essentially. So your goal is, like always, you have to pick if you think the card was ever banned, limited, or is perfectly fine at 3 copies. Are you ready?
Yes, I will say I'm not going to be reading chat throughout the entire time because I don't want to get any.
You don't want to get spoiled, but you are. This is your challenge. If you go over 50%, you win. If you're under 50%, chat wins. Here's your first card.
Oh God. Okay, can I ask you, how long did you guys like delegate and talk about what cards you're gonna put into this?
So basically, they had to get 5 subs, and if they gifted 5 subs, they got to pick a card for you. I gave them a bit of guidance. I tried to have them pick things that you could evaluate in a vacuum because some are more specific than others, obviously. They did not listen to me necessarily, but I tried to guide them in a direction to make it, you know, achievable for you. And I think we got a pretty good list, all things considered. So this will be good.
Okay, and you want me to start right now?
Yeah, I sent you your first card. Go for it.
Okay. Go, you start already. Does it say it on the card? Okay, Phantom Sky Blaster. This is a fiend. When this card is normal or flip summon, you could special summon any number of Sky Blaster tokens, Fiend, Dark level 4, attack 500, defense 500, up to the number of monsters you control. Once per turn during your standby phase, you can inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each Sky Blaster monster you control. Sky Blaster monsters you control cannot declare an attack during the turn you activate this effect. Okay, hold on. So they don't have like haste when they're summoned. You could special summon any. They do?
They do. It's just if you use the effect to burn, they can't attack.
Oh, sure. But I think Wait, so you could attack and then you could use the effect in your second main phase then?
Because if you declared an attack, you're not allowed to use the burn effect. Oh. It's not really intuitive, but that's how it works.
Okay, no, that's a good question though to ask because I feel like you could have. I would have understood that you could have done that. So, up to a number of monsters you control. So max on the board is 5.
Max on the board is 5. When you summon Sky Blaster, if he's your only monster, you will get 1 token. If you have another monster on the field, you'll get 2 tokens.
Give like 300 damage to your opponent for each Sky Blaster monster you control. Is there other Sky Blaster like monsters in this archetype?
You know, that is a good question, actually. I want to say no, but I'm going to quickly check for you because this is the only one that comes to mind. Okay. Sky Blaster. There are actually. That's so funny. I did not put that together. I did not realize Castel, for chat watching, is technically a Sky Blaster card because it's Castel the Sky Blaster Musketeer. Did not realize that. Anyway, there are 4 Sky Blaster cards, Phantom Sky Blaster being one of them. I will let you know the other 3 really don't like necessarily synergize with Phantom Sky Blaster. It's kind of just the name. It's not like there's a whole archetype around this card.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if you've actually ever shown me a card like this before, where it's like what that comes to
a token producer.
Like well, token producer to an extent, but like just kind of like incremental damage you can just do over your opponent's head without attacking, which other monsters you've shown me can do, but this one's kind of in a unique spot. Is there a card in this game that allows you to double damage to your opponent for the turn?
I don't want to say double, but there are cards that say like if you do damage, do like extra damage. So like there's one that's like if you do damage, do an extra 300 damage to your opponent like per instance of damage, and that's like not a once per turn or anything.
Okay, so
if I don't know about doubling. I don't think there's a doubling effect as far as I know.
You have 2 monsters, you can do 600 damage. It's 8.
Right, so if you go Sky Blaster, summon a token, if there's no other monsters you have, that would be 600 damage. Yep.
The weird thing is like, recently you've been having themes with your videos. So now that I'm doing cards in a vacuum and you've
this one, the theme is that chat picked them. That is the only thing you have to go by.
That means like, there's a lot more mind games in here.
Oh, this is the Wild West. This is the Wild West, yeah.
It's so bad, especially with 5 on the board.
Chat said the theme is we troll you. Yep, there you go.
So max per turn, 1500.
If you had all Sky Blaster monsters on the field, because remember, it doesn't count other non-Sky Blasters. So like hypothetically, you could if you have Sky Blaster and 4 tokens. Yes.
This is gonna be something. Like, I think inherently I have to go with my gut and say this is horrible. I have a weird feeling that you're gonna tell me there's like some synergy with the amount of damage you can do that ends up being annoying. But maybe it's not even like the damage you're dealing. It's like you just have an infinite summoning minions, but then your opponent probably has an answer to this. This isn't that egregious. When did this come out?
Good question. Let me see. I want to say 2008. Way earlier than I thought.
Oh, okay. So this is old as shit.
This is very old. This is very old.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Hold on. That changes things.
Ooh, does it? Okay.
If this is modern, this would be so bad. This would be horrible. Like I showed you. I haven't posted that video yet, but I showed you like Get Mbaku. Like,
yep.
I don't know if they re-released the Paladin one in Hearthstone last year.
Oh, did they?
It was unplayable.
Okay.
Like, so the years of like token generation really affect of how good something can be, and this is kind of in that weird vein where it's like maybe you have infinite tokens to keep on summoning and your opponent just can't deal with all of them.
Well, remember, it's only on normal summon, so it's not like, you know, you do this every turn.
Yeah, but you've shown me cards that are like get it back to your hand.
You can bounce him and resummon it. Yeah, okay, sure. I was just clarifying. No,
but I'm in Disneyland at this point. Why would I ever play this?
So you think this card's fine?
Let me think in 2014 Hearthstone. If I had a card that said for every one of them on the board I deal like 3 damage, my opponent would probably answer in a heartbeat. It's not that strong. I guess it is your normal summon, and then you get to do it once. You get the initial way. Oh, God, I think it's bad. I think it's bad. I think it's bad. I don't see it. Yeah, it's final answer.
This card's limited, if you can believe that. Okay, so Sky Blasters had a very interesting trajectory in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. So on release, this card was unplayable. Like, no one ever played this card. Then, when Link Monsters came out, Link Monsters can use any monster for material, including tokens. So, you can use them for other types of summoning mechanics too, except Xyz summoning. You can use it for a Synchro Summon. But Link monsters specifically love tokens. And so this card got restricted back in, I want to say like 2017, 2018. Because basically, if you had a monster, you could just summon Phantom Sky Blaster, make 2 tokens, and now you have 4 Link worth of material just like that you got basically for free off the Sky Blaster. And that was a lot of advantage. Being able to then immediately start like doing all these crazy extra deck plays was really fucking strong. So much so that they limited Sky Blaster, and it is still limited to this very day, which is incredible.
Oh my. I'm reading the card, man, and I'm like, there's no way this is played for the damage. There's no way.
No, you like, okay, actually, ironically, it was because with the time rules, if you could just burn your opponent at the end of game like 2 or 3 for like 300 damage, let's say you're both at 8,000, if time gets called in the round and you just burn your opponent, you win the game by default. They changed these rules recently that that's no longer the case, but it was a card that you could kind of cheese wins with in time as well. But like I said, not really used for that purpose. It was still a good card regardless. But yeah, so it's this terrible, awful card. You were correct up until 2017 when it was too good that they had to actually restrict it. I played with this card actually. It's very good. It's very good.
Well, damn.
We're starting off strong, buddy. We're starting off strong. Anyway, here's your next one. Do you like dinosaurs?
I do like dinosaurs.
You'll like this one then.
Nice. Okay, Jurrac Stego. This is a dinosaur. During your main phase, you can destroy 1 card you control, and if you do, send 1 dinosaur monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then you could special summon Jurrac monsters from your hand and or deck, except this, whose total level equals to the sent monster's level. Ignoring their summoning conditions, also for the rest of this turn, Jesus Christ, you can't special summon except dinosaur monsters. You can only use this effect of this once per turn. When this card is destroyed by battle, you can return 1 face-up card on the field to the hand. That's a very overloaded card.
It's a lot of text. Yeah, it's 7 lines.
Yeah. How? Okay, hold on. Oh my God, there's so much to.
Yeah, so break it down. Break it down.
You destroy 1 card you control, and if you do, send 1 dinosaur monster from your deck to your graveyard. Okay, so based on the so even if you destroy 1 monster that's like 4 stars,
okay,
you destroy this. You destroy itself.
Does it say you can't?
Okay. Okay, so worst case, you play this, and then you draw another monster or another dinosaur or whatever through this.
Okay.
And you can special summon one direct monster from your safe lands total. Yeah, so you can do that. Ignoring their summoning conditions. I don't know how how good that really is, but you've shown me some really whack summoning conditions that may be important for this.
There's some stuff it can bypass for sure.
Also, for the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon except for dinosaur monsters.
Yeah,
I mean,
so it locks you into dinos. It locks you into dinos.
Have you showed me any other dinosaurs? I don't know.
I want to say maybe one. They're not like the most common in terms of like the typings of Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Okay, because in Magic the Gathering, the dinosaurs go crazy. Like if you get them going.
Some of the dinosaurs in Yu-Gi-Oh go. Would you like to see a premier target to send off of the Jurrac Stego to help you out a bit?
Sure.
I'm apologize. This is another big wall of text for you.
Holy fuck. Miscellaneous Saurus? Okay. During the main phase, quick effect, you can set this card from your hand to the graveyard. During this main phase, dinosaur monsters you control are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. You banish any number of dinosaur monsters from your graveyard, including this card. Special summon one dinosaur monster from your deck with a level equal to the total number of monsters banished to activate this effect, but destroy it during the end phase. So that means like if I do like 7 monsters, I can summon a 7-star.
Correct.
Monster.
Correct. Yep.
Oh my god, that's kind of a cool card.
And Miscellaneous Saurus is a very contentious card. Yeah, for sure.
You could send this card from your hand to the graveyard during this main phase. Dinosaurs you control are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. What is an activated effect, just so I know?
So activated effect is like in Magic terms, is like a sorcery speed effect, or like think about the Titans, how you have to like click them to use one of their 3 abilities. So it's sorcery speed. So they have to like declare, I'm going to use this effect. That differs from like a continuous effect, if you will. That's like when you play the card, it's just always active. So like, for instance, if there's a card that says neither player can special summon monsters, that's a continuous effect. It doesn't activate. It's just when you play the card, neither player can special summon monsters. That's just how it goes. So most effects are activated effects, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a good card, especially in the dinosaur deck.
Yep.
So I could see why you would play that. Okay, so with the Stego, oh my god. So you could just send that monster to the graveyard if you wanted
and
to.
then you get to special summon some Jurrac monsters that are equal to the 4 stars on the Miscellaneous Saurus, and then you could banish Miscellaneous Saurus and a bunch of dinosaurs to summon another dinosaur and just keep the train going.
Yeah, I gotta pretend chat's not here. I gotta pretend they didn't pick these cards because I feel like this is a very good card in my opinion. Like,
okay.
I don't know why. So what really, obviously I don't have this information, but it's like, how good are dinosaurs? The one dinosaur you showed me is really great, but is that a red herring?
Is it a red herring? Is it a red herring?
This is chat's decisions. Chat would troll me.
They would never, Raren. They would never do such a thing.
So I want to say it's good. Is it a bait? Am I getting baited?
Are you getting baited?
Why wouldn't this be good? This is such an overloaded card. This is like a power, like not power creep, but like
a Yu-Gi-Oh 2 card for sure.
Yeah, like this is insane.
Do you want to know when this card's released? Would that help?
Sure.
This year.
How many months are we talking here? Like a week? Or like...
I'm not going to disclose that information this year.
Shit. I feel like that's even harder because like the threshold for a good card has to be so high at this point.
Yep, you're not wrong.
Have you showed me any dinosaurs other than like the ones today?
Like I said, I think I have shown you 1 or 2 at most. Like I said, they're not the most prominent type in the game. And they typically only work with other dinosaurs. Like they're very xenophobic that way. So it's kind of hard to show you dinosaur cards in a vacuum without showing you like other dinosaurs. So I think I kind of just for that reason don't show them to you as often as like other types. Just for context.
That is fair. I think
because you read this, right? And it's like, you know, there's so much going on here with dinosaurs, Jurracs, like there's a lot of, you know, other stuff that you're kind of missing the information on.
No, it's disgusting. Like, it's a good card. If it was like in other archetypes, maybe I'm trying to compare this to like Tearlaments or the Agent deck. Like, if that card was in there, would it be played? Probably. So, like, is it contingent on how good dinosaurs are? Maybe, but I feel like this card's pretty great. Even though, okay, like here's the caveat to this though. Like, it's like, is this card good now? No, but like maybe there's like a critical mass of dinosaurs at some point that makes this disgusting, but it's a very good card. Max C is just better than this, no? Like, wouldn't I rather just play Max C against this?
I mean, that is fair. That is fair. Remember, Max C's banned for us in the TCG, but it is legal in the other territories.
Okay, I'm gonna go with this card's bad, just because I think I can't remember any dinosaurs that you. I think I'm getting metagamed by chat, to be honest with you.
Okay,
because I think if this was not a dinosaur, I think I'm going with my gut, say this is broken, but I'm gonna take a step back and be like, I don't think you've shown me a lot of dinosaurs. This can't be that good.
Okay, chat's saying Maxi beats everything, to be fair, just so you know.
That's fair. That's fair. That is fair.
You are correct. I don't want to say this card is bad, but one, I think it's too new. It did come out in June, so it's at the time we're recording this in September, so it's only been a few months that this card's even been legal in the first place. Two, this is a good card for the dinosaur deck, but unfortunately, like I said, dinosaurs have only had a very small time in the spotlight that they've been particularly good, but this card is exceptionally good in that deck. It's not good enough to make dinosaurs like a tier 1 threat or anything because the power level of Yu-Gi-Oh is just so high, but in the dinosaur deck, this card is very fucking good, exceptionally good. But you're right, it's totally fine.
That's right.
Totally
That's
fine.
right. That's right, chat. That's right.
All right, you're 50-50. You're 50-50. Let's keep going. Let's have some fun. Here's your next card.
I gotta lock in here.
Gotta lock in.
Inspector Border.
I'm also showing you 10 cards, so you just have to get 6 out of 10 to win.
Okay. What is this?
It's Inspector Border.
Yeah, that helps.
You asked.
Cannot be normal or special summon if you control a monster. Okay. Either player can activate monster effects unless the number of monster effects that player has previously activated this turn is less than the number of monster card types currently in the field. Holy shit, what a sentence.
So
Ritual Fusion, Synchro, XYZ.
Do you need me to explain that line?
No, I got what it means. I got what it means. If an effect's activation was negated, it still counts towards the total for that turn. Only count effects that were activated while this monster was face up on the field.
This card's a wording nightmare. I'm just going to let you know. I think the person picked this because of that to fuck you up.
That's fair. That is fair. I'm trying to think about why. Okay, so this is like, wow, what a weird ass card, to be honest. Why would I want this?
Good question.
Guess it's like, it kind of, because it affects both of you, it's really interesting why you want a symmetrical effect in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Okay. What's the first thing that comes to mind? Why do you think you would play this? Or would you even play this? This card could suck. This card could suck.
Neither player can activate monster effects unless the number of monsters effects that a player has previously activated this turn is less than the number of monster cards types currently in the field. So if you, this would be 1. This is a ritual card, right?
No, this is just an effect monster.
So if that's an effect monster, does that count as one of the current monster types or no?
Nope.
It's, okay, so interesting.
So
okay,
you need to have an extra deck monster or ritual monster, because those are in the main deck for some reason. You need to have one of those types of monsters on the field before you can even start activating effects.
God, why would I want this? Okay, I understand the logic against my opponent.
Okay.
Obviously very good. So you would have to build your deck in a way that allows you to use monster effects on your own terms, where you just don't care about them and you're just using like raw stats.
Okay. I mean, he is a 4-star 2000 attack point monster. I mean, in terms of a normal summon, that's pretty good.
Has there ever been a deck in recent memory that would just use raw stats to win? See, like in Hearthstone, because you guys don't really have like battle cries, right? Like it's tough for me to envision.
When this card is normal summoned or, you know, special summoned, that's technically a battle cry.
I guess that's fair. I guess that's fair, actually. So those are fine then. Like when this card is normal summoned, this effect still applies. Is allowed to
It's a continuous effect. It's a continuous effect. Yep.
Hearthstone doesn't have a card like this realistically.
I did not think they would.
I'm trying really hard to think if I've ever seen something close to this. The problem with Hearthstone, though, we've had this conversation before. Tech cards kind of feel whatever, because often it's like, unless you go against that very specific thing, it doesn't feel great in your deck. Yu-Gi-Oh! Obviously, there is like, everyone wants to use their activated monster abilities. It seems like that's a very common thing. This actually affects a very wide variety of decks. And if you are smart and you can build a deck that utilizes this effect, this could be really, really good. This one feels like it's all or nothing. I don't know if there's a middle ground for this. It's hard. You can't just really slot this in. You have to be like, it's like building like a 5-color Magic deck. Like you have to really have a good reason to do it, unless you're just really trying to have some fun. Is that worth playing in Yu-Gi-Oh?
It's also a question of like, do they want this type of effect in the game? That's something you always ask yourself when we do these videos. Because like, this type of effect isn't particularly fun.
Yeah, but I'm losing faith in Konami as these videos go on.
You know, that's fair. That is the nihilistic perspective to take. I'm not gonna lie to you.
So I don't know if I really want to take the angle of like, does Konami want this in the game? Like maybe, like I can see. Is that really a design problem to have this in the game that kind of? Because in my opinion, like, doesn't that open the game up even more if this card's actually playable? Because don't you want people to like strategize new things, or with new things, sorry, not play the same thing only? But like, I guess if more than like 90% of their cards are activated effects, like this could be annoying.
Which I mean, they're more activated than continuous. Yeah, I'd agree.
it limits the game in a bad way if it's very good. And if it's not good, what's the point of printing this? This actually just seems like a design failure for sure. I can see what you're saying. Okay, so then I gotta take the classic approach of, if I'm going second, does this card do anything?
Good question.
Going first, I could see this being super, super annoying. And going first, that means you probably could just stop your opponent from even having a chance to play the game. Going second, it's like, my opponent already did their thing, realistically. I guess there are situations where it's like they can't use their really good monster effect to stop me from doing stuff if I play this. But does my opponent ever? I guess they can have spells or trap cards though, right? Like
they could. Yeah. This has nothing to do with spells or traps. You were correct.
Well, again, this is one of those moments where it's like I think it's really bad. I got to take a step back and ask myself: would chat show me a card to bait me?
They would never do that. They would never.
I'm gonna go with this card. I'm gonna go with this card's not good enough. Like I feel like you're put into a situation where it's like if you do go second, I feel like it's significantly worse. So half the time it feels really, really bad. But often it's like, how good will this be? And does that actually put you in a winning spot when other strategies might just be strictly better than this? And I feel like that's not the case whatsoever with a card like this. So I will go with it's not good.
So Inspector Border is the linchpin of stun decks. These are decks that tend to want to go first, obviously, like every deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! For the most part. But when they go first, they play all of these prison/floodgate style of effects to make it so that the opponent can't play the game. So ideally, with Inspector Border, you go first, you play Inspector Border, you set 4 traps in your back row, and basically you're making it so that your opponent cannot play the game whatsoever. This card will stop all of their activated effects. It's very annoying. And even some people back in the day would side deck this card against certain matchups so that in games 2 and 3, when they know they're going first, they would board in Inspector Border, no pun intended, and they would just, the game starts, they slap Inspector Border, the opponent doesn't have an out to it, they just fucking lose. So, very unfun card, but it's totally fine. You got it correct. Good job.
Let's go!
The biggest thing with Inspector Border is that, it's like you said, going second, this card basically does nothing. And these types of like feast or famine type cards, like in that respect, like, yes, this card is very annoying and very frustrating to play against, but it's not like every deck can incorporate this card. It's not like a trap card that every deck can just kind of play. He does require your normal summon. If you draw him, he's really bad, like going second. There's just a lot of downsides to him as well. So it's like for the stun decks that want to play him, cool. That's about his only purpose, is just to be very fucking annoying. And but decks like this have won regionals and stuff before, so it's not like it's impossible.
Yeah, it's fair. That is fair. That is fair. Yeah.
It's just how it goes. Okay. You're 2 for 1. The easy ones are over now, so have fun. Here's your next one.
No. Oh, God. Oh, what is this? Union Carrier. What the hell? Okay. This is the link monster. Requires 2 monsters of the same type of attribute. Okay. Cannot be used as link material the turn it is link summon. You could target one face-up monster you control, equip one monster to it from your hand or deck with its same original type or attribute. You're gonna have to explain what that means. I guess it's gonna explain on the card. Never mind. The equipped monster gains 1,000 attack. If you equipped it from the deck, you cannot special summon monsters with that equip card's name for the rest of the turn. You can only use this once per turn. Okay, so when I'm equipping, does it just go like under the other card? Like,
yeah, so it goes into your spell and trap zone, essentially.
Okay.
Yep, that's how it works.
Okay, so in theory, you draw a card from your deck. You give a minion 1,000 attack, and then if you do it from your deck, you just can't special summon monsters with the card that you equipped with.
Correct. Everything else is still fair game.
Same type would be like machine, right? Or like dinosaur.
Yeah, so Union Carrier is I don't want to say it's like a pun or a play on anything. There used to be a subtype of monster called Union Monsters. And how Union Monsters worked is that if they're on the field, you could equip them to a different monster by putting them in your spell and trap zone. So Union Carrier is basically doing that, but it's like doing it for you. So you don't need to already have the other monster in play. Essentially.
Okay.
Because you can equip the Union Carrier itself as well.
Man, okay, so why would this be bad? When you link monsters, they send to the graveyard?
They go to the graveyard. Yep.
This one's very interesting. Let me think of that Hearthstone terms. If I sacrifice 2 beasts, I get to pull this card from my imaginary extra deck in Hearthstone.
Yep, and then theoretically pull any card from your deck to like equip to that card then.
What happens to the card that is equipped to this monster if Carrier dies?
That card dies as well.
So it's like...
The gimmick with Union Monsters in the old days is that if that monster were to die, typically only the Union card equipped to it would die instead. So it kind of gave your minion like a second life, if you will. But with this, that effect isn't there. You just get the 1,000 attack boost, of course.
When you attach a card to this and the card says, when this is special summoned, does that affect proc?
It does not, because it is going to your spell and trap zone.
So it's not considered a monster, though?
It's not considered a monster. It's actually considered a spell.
That probably doesn't help my analysis whatsoever, but that's interesting.
Do you want to see a card that can synergize with this?
Sure.
Let me help you out a bit here. Let me send you this card.
Okay.
Just to give you an idea of how this mechanic works.
Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. You can target one Buster Blade you control. Equip this monster from your hand or field to that target. While this card is equipped to a monster, your opponent cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can special summon this equipped card. You can only use the effect of this once per turn. Okay, that seems better than the Union Carrier, but mainly for the first half there. That's
We'll put it together.
Target one Buster Blade you control. Equip this monster from your hand or field to the target. While this card is equipped to that monster, your opponent can. Okay, so you would use the Union Carrier to pull this out.
There you go. There you go. You don't care about Buster Blader. That's just like part of that card's text. So you can ignore the whole first sentence.
Well, this card is equipped to a monster. You could special summon this equipped card.
So this is one of the examples of there are a few cards that can special summon themselves like from the spell and trap zone, if you will. And Union monsters could do that too. You could attach them to a monster to give it protection, or you could just resummon the monster and just, do that. You can kind of like flip-flop and go back and forth.
Union Carrier allows you to bypass this requirement on the sword because you don't have the Buster Sword, which allows you to stop your opponent from playing the game. So in theory, it's like if you play this card going first, your opponent is just crying.
Sure, in this exact combo. Another example would be, so you asked about if the Union Carrier dies, what happens to the monster? It goes to the graveyard. That does trigger graveyard effects. So if there's a card that says when this card is sent to the graveyard, that would trigger in the instance of if the card goes to the graveyard, even though it's going from the spell and trap zone.
See, here's the problem. You told me this is hard. I think in general, this is like insane, no?
Okay. We're throwing the card out there, and it's up for you to decide that.
The only real issue here, it seems like, is how hard is this to get on board? But
it's not.
It doesn't seem very difficult, right?
It's
so
not.
It's like you get this card, you send 2 monsters to your graveyard, which could be really beneficial for you. You also get to pick a specific card from your deck to equip to this. That could just mean any card you can't draw using a tutor and or a card that just utilizes like the sword. So like there's only upside here. So why would this be bad? Here's one additional question. If this card's banished, what happens to the equip card?
If the Union Carrier is let's say the Union Carrier is equipped. If he's banished, what happens to the equip card? So if it's on the Union Carrier, it would go to the graveyard. If it's on a different monster, it stays out.
Why would this be bad? Okay, no, I gotta really ask myself here why this would be bad. What is bad about this card? Is it bad because you'd rather just play better monsters?
It could be a good card, Rare, and they may not be showing you a bunch of bait.
But like, who starts this off with? Now the hard ones go. Like this seems like a fucking slam dunk. Like it's just good.
Okay.
Why would Chad do this?
Why would Chad do this? Why would Chad do this to you?
Why would Chad do this to me?
I think I said these are the hard ones because I think everything else I'm showing you is from the extra deck. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think this is bad. I don't think this is
okay, it could be good. I'm just saying it could be good. Like that is an option. Chat could give you a good card. It is possible.
Yeah, but the funny thing is the last 2 cards I kind of went against my gut because who they are, and I was right. So I think also like the problem is like you told me like it's ban limited or just not good enough. The problem with extra deck stuff, we talked about this so many times, is like it's really hard to limit it because it's like, what's the point? You're still gonna pull it out regardless. In my mind, it's like, how likely are you to get this out? I think you're very likely to get it. I will go with my gut on this one and just say this is a good card. Like I don't know why this would be bad.
Okay, so you think it's good? Limited, banned, or you just think it's a good card?
It can't be limited. It has to be banned or not banned.
So okay. You think banned or not banned? Okay. 50-50.
No, I think it's just a good card. I think it's just a good card. Yeah, it's just good.
Not banned. Should have went against your gut, buddy. Union Carriers banned. This card is way too fucking good. To clarify the part of your text, it says you can equip one monster to it from your hand or deck with its same original type and attribute. So that's referring to the monster. So if the monster is a dark or a dragon type, you can equip the Dragon Buster Destruction Sword to it, essentially. If you're just targeting the Union Carrier, it has to be something that's either a light or a machine, just hypothetically. So that's what that meant. That doesn't really matter because if you're summoning a million fucking things, you're going to be able to get what you want anyway. But I showed you the most degenerate application for Union Carrier was to get the Destruction Sword because anytime there's an effect in Yu-Gi-Oh that says like your opponent can't summon like from the extra deck or like special summon period, it typically gets banned under most circumstances. And so this was really egregious because any combo deck could just, all right, I'm going to go into Union Carrier and then I'm going to equip the Destruction Sword to something and now you can't play the game. Not very fun, not very interactive. There's a lot of like just really insane cards that you can just pull from your deck to equip to Union Carrier that does a lot of really broken stuff. And so without getting like too into it because like there's just so many things. And so as a result of that, they had to ban this card because it was actually way too good. So it's been banned for quite some time. I think it's been like 5 years now, I want to say. It's been a while.
That makes sense. Shit.
You were close. You were close, but it's 2-2. It's 2-2.
God, I should have. Oh my God, I should have. Oh my God, I knew that was gross.
You knew? You felt like it was banned? You felt like it was banned?
Yeah, it's like you see the fucking mental gymnastics I'm going through. Whether or not this is bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're probably never going to ban that card either. There's just way too many good things it enables. All right, next card. Next card.
Cyber Darkness Dragon. 5 Cyber Dark effect monsters.
I will let you know that is not hard to do.
Must be fusion summoned. If this card is special summoned, you can equip 1 dragon or a machine monster from your graveyard to this card. Gains attack equal to the original attack of the monster equipped to it by this effect. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can send 1 equipped card you control to the graveyard. Negate the activation if you do destroy that card.
Yep, so this is similar to Union Carrier, actually.
Okay, so this only has, just so I'm understanding it correctly, it only has 1 equipped monster at a time, or when it first summons from the deck, or the extra.
So if this card is special summon, you can equip 1 thing to it. So it only gets 1, and you can't do it multiple times. I will say, for context, there are multiple cards in the Cyber Dark archetype that you can equip to Cyber Darkness Dragon that are outside of it using its own effect. So it's not like it's a one and done type thing necessarily.
So can I have more than 1 thing equipped to a monster at a time?
Does it say
or is
you
it
can?
only 1? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I will say it has historically said, like, sometimes it'll say like max 1 in parentheses that you can only equip 1 thing to a monster. But this one does not have that restriction.
I think that's an important question to ask. Also, you can only have 5, maximum 5 because of your spell and trap zone.
Correct, because it does have to equip. You can have only a maximum of 5, theoretically, yes. But you can also just have 1 and keep re-equipping something over and over again. So that's another thing you could do.
Is there really a card that lets you just re-equip it after it's unequipped?
Yes.
Is that a thing?
Uh-huh.
What the fuck? Isn't this disgusting then? Like, how hard is it to, if you said it's easy to get the Cyber Darkness, then it's like, you just have infinite negation as long as you can just re-equip?
As long as you can keep equipping stuff to it, theoretically, yes.
Okay, hold on. I gotta really think here.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna compare, like, so I've seen Baron before. Baron's like 1-time activation effect to negate something.
Well, yeah.
You told me Baron, I believe, is banned at this current time, right?
Correct. Baron's banned in the TCG. It's legal in Master Duel still, which is fucking stupid.
Okay. Why do they have so many random ass rules, man? Just follow one. What the?
I don't get into it. I don't even want to get into it.
Okay.
I wish they had like the TCG ladder, the Master Duel ladder, and like the OCG ladder. And it's like whichever format you play, you can just pick your ladder and like play the game the way you want to play it. It's dumb that like we just make up formats for each fucking. Go on. I'm sorry. It infuriates me. It's so fucking dumb.
Okay. So you told me that this is not hard to do. Can I do this on turn 1?
Yep. It's Yu-Gi-Oh. Just assume you can.
How many cards would you say I can have equipped to this card at one time?
How many cards could you have equipped to this card at one time realistically? Let's ask chat. Chat, what do you think? What do you realistically think? How many things are we having on this? I was gonna say 3. 2 to 3. People say 3. A lot of people are saying 3. So 2 to 3, 3 being the most popular answer.
Okay, so that's just broken. Like I'm just trying to, again, it's like last card. Like, how is this not disgusting? You have infinite, in theory, 5 card negation is insane. Like 3 card negation is insane. Like in Hearthstone, if you get counterspelled and it's on a really effective card, like the game is effectively over because you lost so much mana. If that's the case, broken?
Is it?
Banned? Why wouldn't it be broken? No, man, if you go first, it's so good.
Okay.
If you go second, like, it's like, okay, so Union Carrier was good because you can stop the negation with basically that 1 card. Like, you can stop your opponent from special summoning. If I'm negating cards, it's theoretically the same thing.
Theoretically. Yeah. And this is assuming you go like uninterrupted, right? Your opponent can have hand traps to stop you. So like 3 is like, you know, best case scenario.
So even if I go for, I think it's just very good. I think it's like a solid card. The question ends up being, is it banned or not? If the last card is banned because it stops your opponent from special summoning, this at least you have to have the tools to. I would say that it's good but not banned. Limited doesn't make any sense because it's an extra deck. Oh, good, not banned.
Good, not banned. Final answer.
Final answer.
You would be correct, Rare, and this card is good but not banned. You got it. 3-2. So the biggest issue with this, I want to say, and this would be hard for you to evaluate in a vacuum, I will say. The Cyberdark archetype just kind of sucks. So, like, they have this insane boss monster, sure, but, like, the rest of the deck, it's the example of a good card in a bad deck. So the rest of the Cyberdark cards are just like, and I didn't show you any of them, so like you wouldn't know this. They're just not particularly good. They have this crazy payoff, and it's like if you do it, it'll probably win you the game. But that's if you get to it, and like that's if it's... The rest of the Cyberdark cards are like not very good. They're like fine at best and pretty mediocre at worst. So like they have this crazy payoff, but you're going to play a bunch of bad cards just to play one good card. It's not good enough. But it's good that they have a cool boss monster. This is a retrain of their old boss monster, which was actually way worse. But this one's actually playable. So, but it's a good card, but just the deck is awful. So that's why this one is fine. If you lose to it, that's a skill issue, skill diff. Anyway, we're keeping on the trend of boss monsters. Here's your next one.
What the hell is this? Okay. Super Quantal Mech King Great Magnus.
That's a name, huh?
Sounds correct. Yeah. Oh my God. That might be the longest name you've ever shown me. It looks so weird on the card. All right, 3 level 12 monsters.
I will let you know that's irrelevant.
Okay, this card is sent to the graveyard. Wait, is this an extra deck card?
This is an extra deck card. Yep, it's an Xyz monster.
This card is sent to the graveyard. You get special summon 3 Super Quantal Mech Beast XYZ monsters with different names from your graveyard. This card gains these effects based on the number of materials with different names attached to it.
So let me give you some context to start here. So basically how you summon this guy is, you see how there's like green, red, and blue on him? There's 3 different Xyz monsters in this archetype, and this is not that you can do this turn 1. I'll give you the context now. Basically, you get all 3 of those guys on the field, and then there's a field spell that activates to send all those, they basically attach all those guys and make one big overlay to summon this guy.
Okay.
So you're attaching like everything to like basically make this like giant like Voltron motherfucker guy.
That's easy to do.
You can do it on turn 1 with this deck. Yep.
Based on the number of materials with different names attached. Okay, so the dot is just like a bullet point, I'm guessing.
Yeah, this is each of the separate effects. Yeah.
Okay, so +2 once per turn during the main phase quick effect, you can detach 1 material for this card, shuffle 1 card on the field into the deck. I'm guessing that means also your opponents based on the wording there. +4, sorry, 4+. It is unaffected by card effects except super quaint cards. Quaint?
Super quant. Super quant. So other cards in the archetype.
6+, your opponent cannot add cards from the deck to the hand by card effects. And these that's like an aura effect, I'm guessing.
That's a continuous effect.
Okay, and I could do this turn 1. Okay, yep. If I'm going first, once per turn during the main phase quick effect, you detach 1 card material from this card, shuffle 1 card on the field of the deck. Okay, I can do that on my opponents. And if I shuffle 1 material from this card, that means I lose the 6+, or is that still there?
No. So if you go below 6 or more materials, then you no longer have that effect.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So basically, like when you make this, hypothetically, it will have 6 or more materials on it. As you like detach materials for the first effect to shuffle stuff away, then it starts losing material. So then if you go below 6, it no longer prevents your opponent from adding cards from deck to hand by card effects. If you go below 4, now it's affected by anything again. So that's how that works.
When you get this card, are you saying there's going to be 6+ materials attached to this?
Usually it's between 4 and 6. It depends on 1, if your opponent like interrupts your play. 2, sometimes the way you make this, like you can't get the full 6, but it is possible to start on 6 or more. Yeah,
it's possible.
Okay, yeah. It's not guaranteed. It just kind of depends on the like your hand and the way that like the game goes. So at minimum, you will make it unaffected by card effects, and at the best, you make it your opponent can't tutor for anything.
Can I add more materials to this card once it's already on field, or no?
There are ways to do that, yes.
Or can I add cards from the deck to the hand by card effects? You've shown me a lot of cards that can do that. Mm-hmm. That really stuns gameplay.
Tutoring is like the main way that we play the game. Yeah.
This comes down to like how good is this compared to other cards, I think.
It's fair.
If I'm gonna go through, so if +2 is fine. It's not great, but it's fine. +4 is interesting. Yeah, it's unaffected by card effects, but at that point, it's just basically like a shuffle dude that has a decent amount of attack, which is good. If you get 6 is obviously really good because then it's super annoying to deal with a card like this.
Very toxic.
So then it's like if you hit 6, the threshold is so much better for like how good this card is. 4 is fine. 2 is good. Like 2 is just like you're not like disappointed with 2, but you definitely want the 6.
Thanks for the raid
so
gauge.
If 6 is not a consistent thing, it's like you have to have a good hand for it. How likely are you to actually win with this card on turn 1? 4 is fine. Oh man, this is a weird. Going second, I don't know how good it's going to be because then your opponent can kind of respond to it.
I mean, they have hand traps to respond to it if you go first anyway, but they might have more ways to interact with you if they go first. Yeah, I agree. So is this another bait? Is this another bait?
I'm not as like impressed with a card like this.
Interesting. Okay.
If it literally had 6+ like guaranteed, then it's a conversation for like maybe being bannable, because then it's like you really limit what your cards can do. Again, cards are allowed to be good, but if it's not consistently good in Yu-Gi-Oh specifically, like you're probably not going to be winning a lot of games. Even though 4 and 2 is good, 6 just feels kind of whatever. I'm gonna trust you that you're gonna tell me the truth here, that like 6 isn't as likely as getting 4. So
it's not like I said, it really just depends on like your hand and also if your opponent disrupts you. But like it is possible, like it's not every game you're gonna end on 6+, but there's like a handful that you will.
Okay, I'm gonna go with it's not good.
Final answer.
I think having 6+ and not consistently get it means this card is fine, but they're just better cards. Like this. Wait, when did this card come out?
It's kind of old. I want to say 2016. It's like mid Yu-Gi-Oh. It's like 10 years old.
Makes me sad that you call it like kind of old 2016. Oh, God. 2016. That's an interesting one. If it was modern, this card's unplayable, I think. So
okay,
it'd have to have a moment in the past where it's like it was really, really good. I don't know if this is really it. Maybe it was, because maybe if you had like your opponent just has to kind of be a bot and not respond to one of this, because if it does get off, like the game's kind of just finished. But so I mean, if this is a popular archetype, you can defend against it. I mean, but you're probably running hand traps like almost every single deck.
I would agree.
I just feel like it's not like, it might be good. I just don't think it's banned. Like
sure.
I feel like you're just kind of like whatever about it. So I'll go with like, I think it's fine. I don't think it's necessarily bad, but I don't think it's banned or limited.
Sure. And you would be correct. You are correct. 4 and 2. Another example of a really good boss monster in like a somewhat mid deck that's like not particularly good. I will say, I think this deck has topped YCS's, like our equivalent of like Pro Tours before. It's like topped in one regionals historically, because like some guys just like, some decks just can't out this guy. Like it's very feast or famine, where it's like, if you summon Magnus, you probably win. And then if you don't summon Magnus, you probably lose. So if your opponent has a way to interrupt you or to like disrupt it or whatever, then you're probably like going to lose that game. Again, not impossible. Like it can play through some interruptions sometimes, but if they don't get to Magnus, the deck is not particularly scary or frightening. This is just kind of like their big payoff. Anytime you see a card that says unaffected by card effects, that's pretty damn good. And that's usually why this card's such a game winner, is because if your opponent has no way to interrupt it, then it's just GG. So very I mean, it's kind of a fun deck. Like if you summon the guy, it's kind of cool. But if not, you're just kind of sitting there doing nothing. It's just, it loses to some cards, but for the most part, it's stuff like you'll see in the side deck. So ideally, you might get your opponent game 1 with this, but then games 2 or 3 are a much different story. So yeah, he's like a fine boss monster in like a mid deck, and yeah, he was okay. He was fine, not like anything crazy.
Okay,
all right, you're doing good. You're doing good. You're showing chat. Let's see if you can keep the trend going. This is a very fun one.
Good art. Looks like an Elden Ring boss. Unchained Abomination. 2 monsters, including a link monster. Okay, so this is like you need to actually already get a link monster, then you have to do it again.
Correct. He's a link 4, so like you need a link 2 plus 2 other monsters, right, or like 2 link 2 monsters, a link 3, and a link 1. Like there's a million ways to play this guy. Yep.
If a card/cards on the field is destroyed by card effect, except during the damage step, except by Unchained Abomination, except during the damage step, you can target 1 card on the field, destroy it. When another monster is destroyed by battle, you can target 1 card on the field, destroy it.
You'll notice a trend.
During the end phase, you can target 1 card on the field, destroy it. Oh. You could use each effect of this once per turn. Okay, hold on. So kind of like blend it all together there. If a card on the field is destroyed by a card effect, except by this, Okay, I get what it's saying now because like this has destroy effects. Okay.
Correct.
Except for the damage. You can target one card on the field, destroy it. Okay. So that's the start of the chain. When another monster is destroyed by battle, you can target one card on the field, destroy it. During the end phase, you can target one card on the field, destroy it.
And I will let you know the Unchained archetype, the main gimmick is that it can destroy its own cards to like get value. So like for the first effect where it says if a card on the field is destroyed by card effect, that counts your own cards. And the Unchained archetype, notoriously, a lot of the cards say like destroy your own card to like do something, you know, whether it's like, you know, good for you or bad for the opponent.
How likely are you to get this on board?
It's not hard. It's very easy. You can also even use your opponent's monsters to get this on the board, which is very funny. They have smaller link monsters that let you like climb up into the next one by using your opponent's monster as link material, which is very stupid.
Okay, isn't that like broken? Or is there like a limited
number
of monsters you can take? Okay.
Pretty good.
Okay, so guaranteed you're at least allowed to get the end phase proc.
Correct. At the very least, you're going to get the end phase proc.
And you're not forced to do it either. You can. So if
also it's your opponent's end phase too. It says during the end phase, not your end phase.
Okay.
So hypothetically, each turn cycle, at minimum, you pop 2 cards.
This card has like I don't know what you guys call it in Yu-Gi-Oh, but in Hearthstone we call it like pseudo taunt, where it's like you have to kill it. You leave it on board. It's just like either getting too much value from this.
Sure.
This is on board. This is probably just game winning. Like how do you like you can't do anything against your opponent. They just would kill everything. This is a must kill card. Now the question is, how likely are you to kill it? Probably decently likely. Is there a card that says like if a card is destroyed, like you can negate an effect?
If a card is destroyed, can you negate an effect?
This guy only says you can only destroy cards, which means
it doesn't negate effects. Correct. Yeah. I mean, he just dies to any removal. I mean, he doesn't have any protection.
Yeah. So that's the part where I'm kind of like, yeah, this is great, and it's a lot of value if you can start utilizing it. But is that actually good in a game of Yu-Gi-Oh? Like in Hearthstone, this would take basically like I'll give you the comparison I'm making here. I think I've shown you before. His name is Brand's Bronzebeard. He's just 3 mana. He's a 2/4, and it says your battle cards are doubled or triggered twice. That card's disgusting. The reason that card is really good though is because you could play it on a turn where you will be playing battle cards, and anytime it's left on the board after, you're just getting additional leg value. But the turn it's played is a turn that you're going to go crazy with it. That's probably the same thing as this, but there's only so many cards that you can destroy on the field before this kind of just does nothing. Destroying a card on the field is fine, but if the effect still goes off, that feels kind of bad because like maybe they just need the effect to work on whatever card you're going to destroy regardless. So it's kind of like this one's really like all or nothing. It feels like as well. But how often is it going to be on the point where it's like really, really good?
I would say this isn't very all or nothing. Compared to some of the other boss monsters I've showed you, this one you can do with relatively minimal resources, and also like you can use your opponent's stuff to make this as well. And not to mention, this can be revived pretty easily in the archetype. So like if you get it out on the board once, you can like bring it back. So it's I would say that it's a bit different compared to some of the other ones you've seen.
I'm just trying to think of like, yeah, it might be like maybe all or nothing's not the right word. I just feel like for what it is, like, is that winning you the game? Like maybe it's tough because maybe the rest of the abomination stuff like synergize so well with destroying that it gives you like a huge advantage.
It does, because I mean, like hypothetically, you can turn the first effect into a quick effect, because if you have another card that's a quick effect card that says destroy a card, then all of a sudden that first effect triggers to be able to pop something else. So you could be like, oh, I have a card that says destroy this card your opponent controls. That triggers Abomination to pop another card. And that could be done at like, you know, quick effect speed, right? So it has like a way to like interrupt your opponent that way. It doesn't negate anything, but if there's things that have like ignition sorcery speed effects, it can destroy it before it gets a chance to activate. So like, you know, it's like negating in like a roundabout way, if you will.
Yeah, listen, that sounds great. I think it's bad. I'm really trying to ask myself why this would be good. Like, I don't think it's necessarily like a bad card. I shouldn't say like that. It has potential, but like there are cards in Hearthstone that I thought legitimately would be broken because of its potential, and it ended up being bad. Maybe if I understood what they were going for, like then I would understand a little bit more of like why this card's good and what you're playing towards. But like in itself, like you show me better cards than this. Okay. That's where I'm at. So I don't think it's banned, and I don't think it's that great.
Final answer.
Final answer.
This card is actually cracked. This card is crazy good. It was funny when it like first got released, everyone would just play, not everyone, but a lot of decks would play just one of it in the extra deck. Because it's generic. Like you don't need like, aside from just needing a Link monster, which a lot of decks were playing. It was a nice option to have. And being able to, especially in the actual Unchained deck, like use your opponent's stuff to suck up to like keep Link climbing until you get to this guy. He's actually pretty good. Compared to like the Super Magnus and like the Cyber Darkness Dragon, this card is actually much better than both of those cards, if you can believe it. Just because it's a lot easier for decks to play it and summon it, and they can do it with like not going all in to play it. Very good value in terms of like just denying your opponent value. But you're correct. This card's fine.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh, feels good.
Just a very good card. Like, but it doesn't need to be banned. Typically, you'd only really play like one of it. That's like a thing. It's like with some of these extra deck cards is that they're like self-limiting in a way. Like you don't really need to play 3 of this guy in your extra deck. Like 1 is enough, and when he comes up, you play him. Cool. But you're not going to play like 2 or 3 of it because it's just, 1, it's a Link 4, so it takes a bit of resources to get to it. And 2, it's just like, again, it's fine. Like it's good if you need it. It's fine. Yeah.
My reasoning for that, by the way, was just like, I just don't understand how, like, it's good, but it doesn't win you the game. Like, I just don't know what you're playing.
It can like just put your opponent in this very awkward situation that you're just blowing all their shit up and they can't do anything about it. But yeah, like that's, again, it's fine. You know, it's I wouldn't say it's like a checkmate card necessarily. It's just fine. If you need it, it's there, and it's just a good toolbox card to have just in case. It can definitely win you the game, though. I will say it under the right circumstances and like against the right deck. It definitely can win you the game.
I'd have to see it.
Sure, sure.
That's what it would come down to.
All right, we have I want to say 3 left, so we're almost done. Here is your next one.
Okay, this one looks old as fuck. I don't know why. Ryzeal Detonator. This requires 2+ level 4 Ryzeal monsters. Okay.
So for context, I'll just let you know the entire Ryzeal archetype is all level 4s. So this is not hard to, and they all can just like special summon themselves and special summon like each other out. So it's not hard to make this guy in the slightest.
When your opponent activates a card effect, quick effect, you can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 card on the field and destroy it. You can only use each of the following effects of Ryzeal Detonator once per turn. If this card is special summon, you can attach 1 monster from your graveyard to this card as a material. That's great. You can if an XYZ monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can detach 1 material from this card instead. Okay, so it has like that. I'm guessing that would count to itself, right? You're gonna say, does it say on the card it can't?
Is it an Xyz monster?
It is. Okay.
There you go.
Listen, I gotta clear.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, that's actually, see, this card has sauce. I feel like this card is infinitely better than the last one. Like this one is easy, understandably why it's good, and you also get XYZ monsters are materials, right? Or
the 2 or more level 4s you use are the materials underneath it. Yeah.
Okay, so you have 3 activations of this, if I'm understanding correctly.
However many, theoretically, right, the 2 level 4s, if you go with 2, and then you get 1 as soon as it's special summoned, because you can attach a material. So at the base, you have 3, but you can make it with more than 2 level 4s. So you can give this like 5 pops if you want to, hypothetically. Okay. It's just how much you want to commit into the detonator.
This is the question. I think this card's very good. The question is, can I talk myself out of that? That is an extremely... You're saying this is easy to do?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, the entire Ryzeal archetype is all level 4. They all special summon themselves, and they all, like, tutor for each other on top of it.
Turn 1, this is just happening. Okay, so...
Yeah, turn 1, this is incredibly easy to do turn 1.
Okay, so then how is it not banned? That is disgusting. 3 activations that negate 3 cards, and even if they try to kill this...
it doesn't negate the cards. It just pops a card on the field. So it's kind of like Abomination in that way. It's not negating any effects, but it's more proactive in terms of like compared to Abomination because it's immediately in response to an effect. Yes.
You get immediately the response, and then even if they try to answer it, you get to negate it. So like it puts your opponent in such an awful position to be in, because if they try to remove it, you just detach, and if they don't try to remove it and they do anything, then you just destroy it. That is an awful thing to deal with. That seems like it's just banned. Like I don't know why they would want this in the game.
Okay. Do you want to know when this came out? Will that help you?
Sure.
This year. I'm sorry, 2024. End of 2024.
Okay.
So literally December of last year. So 10 months ago. So this is a very new card. Relatively.
I was hoping you would say like 2014 or something, because then it's like that's an auto ban.
That's a slam dunk auto ban. This card in 2014 would break the fucking game. I'll just let you know.
Oh yeah, that's what I was really hoping. I was like, please, like something around there. 2024 is interesting. If I'm going first,
am I baiting?
This could be the case. Well, this could be the case of this is a good card, but it's just not a good enough archetype. Like
it could be. It could be.
That's the other question.
I have showed you some of those. Yeah, that's fair.
How? Because I'm guessing Ryzeal is like, it's hard to splash it in with something else. Like you're probably leaning into.
Yeah, you are playing this in a Ryzeal deck. Yes, you are limited to that.
So the question ends up being, is this a good card in a bad archetype? This card just seems very good. And then like again, if you could get this on turn 1, like it's such an annoying card to deal with.
It is very unlikely you will not get this on turn 1. Even if your opponent disrupts you, you will very easily be able to make this turn 1 at a minimum.
I think this card's disgusting. I'm pretty sure this card's disgusting. I just don't see why you wouldn't. This card would single-handedly bring up the archetype on its own because of how good it is. So you just need any other card that like wins the game for you to do this. And even then, this is a 3,000 attack monster, which is like not bad for.
He's big. Yeah, for a rank 4, that is gigantic. Yeah, that they had 3K rank 4s back in the day, and they were awful. And this one is very good.
Okay, hold on. Let me really think this through. Like, why would this not be good? What is the issue with it? It'll remind me how XYZs work. If I negate it as
okay, ask your question. Sorry.
If I negate the summon as it's coming down, can I do that? Like, can I stop it from being
So you're not negating a summon. This is a semantic thing. You are, they summon a monster. They have to activate an effect. So if they, let's say it's a battle cry effect, right? It says like, if this card is normal summon, do X. They activate that effect. Ryzeal Detonator would go on the stack as Chain Link 2, and you can pop that monster or any other card on the field and pop it. So you're not negating the effect. They would still get like a battle cry, unless it's like a sorcery speed effect that they have to use it at ignition speed. If they summon the monster, well, actually, no, you still have to wait till a card is activated to activate Detonator. So you can't just like immediately they summon a guy, pop it before it uses its effect, because an effect has to activate. But that is not very difficult because you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So a million effects are going to act.
Okay, so hold on. I might actually take a step back here. The reason I thought that the Abomination was bad was it just felt like it wasn't doing enough. This is kind of the same thing, but it's only on its materials. So like if they still get the effect off it, I'm not negating the effect. Yeah, I destroyed the monster, but in the same instance, they still get their effect off. So
you have to think though, they do get the effect off, but if they're like trying to do anything with the extra deck where they need materials to send to the graveyard to summon something from the extra deck, you're getting rid of that monster. So do keep that in mind. So you are denying them something, but the effect of whatever they do is still going to go off. You are correct.
Okay, I'm rereading the last sentence too.
Ooh.
If an XYZ monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect. I remember there's like there's a stipulation with this. Where it's like if it was removed or something.
So like if it gets banished, you can't protect it. It's only if it would be destroyed by a card effect. So if it gets bounced back to the hand, it doesn't have the protection effect. So there are like other types of removal that this doesn't protect from. Also, I will say this deck has many cards that can put more materials on Detonator. So let's say you just make it with 3 materials and you like fire them all off. There are ways to put material back on Detonator to like reload him, if you will.
God, this is actually a really tough one because I think it is better than Abomination.
I would agree with you if that helps your evaluation.
So it could be a good card. Again, it could be like the dinosaur though, where it's just in a bad archetype.
Could be bait.
It's really tough because like if the whole deck is built around these Ryzeals, it's like, is this one really that good that it's going to carry the entire thing?
And I mean, you seem to think so. You seem to be very impressed by this card.
It seems very good. It's very good. But like I've seen Hearthstone synergies before where it's like the cards are good, but there's no way to actually win the game. It's just kind of like you're just hoping the raw stats do enough. And that's where I think the Abomination thing was where it was also aligned with. Maybe it's like the dinosaur thing too, right? It's like, is that card actually a good card in an archetype that doesn't actually win you the game? God, this card seems so good though.
Yeah, like in a vacuum, like, I mean, this seems very good without you knowing like the rest of the context, which is part of the fun. It's part of the fun.
I know. I'm really trying to ask myself, is this good enough to win a game?
For what it's worth too, I guess I'll give you this context here. If your opponent activates a field spell or a continuous spell or a continuous trap, if Detonator goes on the stack as Chain Link 2 to pop it, that negates the effect because those cards have to stay on the field in order to resolve their effect. There are some cards that it can negate by destroying them, if you will.
So the problem with this is like, it's the same thing as Abomination where it's like, it can't be limited. So it's like, is it banned or is it fine?
Okay.
Would I ban a card like this?
Would you?
If I would ban a card like this, the Ryzeal archetype is probably significantly worse off without it.
Sure, of course. And it's a new deck. It's a new deck.
Yeah, I'm really thinking this through because usually, like, this is a year old at this point.
Just about.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the same logic I had with Abomination. I think it's a good card, but I don't think it's winning you the game. So I'm not gonna say it's banned, but I think it's a very good card.
Final answer.
I think that's the line. Yeah.
You said it can't be limited. It is limited, if you can believe it. So
how do you? Oh my.
Ryzeal Detonator is limited. This happened recently. I think it was the last ban list. He did get limited. This card is fucking crazy, and I'm not like underselling it. This card is like leagues better than I think every other card that I've shown you. Honestly, maybe better than every card I've showed you thus far. This card like solos decks. Like this is like this card is just fucking batshit crazy. It is so easy to summon. When it was at 3, you just had multiple of them. Even at 1, it's fine because there's ways to revive it. And then even if you revive it, if it's special summon, you get to attach stuff from the grave. So it still has material to pop stuff. This card is very pushed. Ryzeal obviously would not be as good without it. I do think there's like a financial motivation here that they wanted to keep the deck playable because it's relatively new. So they didn't want to hit this deck completely into the sun. But even with Detonator being limited, the deck is still very fucking good. It's a phenomenal card. This is like peak Yu-Gi-Oh! 2 design, and this is this is what people have to deal with.
Why did they limit it over banning it though?
Like I said, I think there's a financial motivation that they're still selling like new cards, and I think they didn't want to just ban this card. If the Detonator got banned, Ryzeal would not be playable, just straight up. He is like the payoff. He is the payoff. There are other cards that are really good in the archetype. Don't get me wrong, but it's like if you didn't have Detonator, this deck would not be good. Like just straight up. He's crazy.
So
He's crazy.
They only limited it because of the fact that they don't want to just outright ban it because they want people to buy stuff. That's what you're assuming at least.
We don't know, but typically if they hit new cards because the deck is too strong, unless it is super egregiously bad, they typically will not ban it. They will typically limit it, and then if it's still bad after more time, they will then ban it because then, okay, it's been like a couple years, we're not selling the set anymore, we don't care, so like we can ban this card now. That's typically the trajectory that they take. It's not all the time, but that's usually how things go.
So did limiting actually do anything, or is it just the same problem, or I guess the same card?
It did matter because now you only have one of this card, where before if you had multiple, you would play like 2 or 3 in your extra deck, and then if they outed one, you could just summon another one. Where now, if they out your one, you have to find a way to like resurrect it, which there are ways to do. It's not like nearly as egregious, if you will, compared to when it was at multiple copies, because before it was just so free, and now it's like you have to be mindful of like, okay, I need to make sure I keep this one Detonator like in rotation basically, because otherwise if they out it, then I'm going to be in trouble. So they also hit other cards in the Ryzeal deck on the recent list, and it's like the deck's still incredibly good because one Detonator is usually enough to like win you a game, but you can't use it as liberally as you would before, if you will.
Okay. Shit.
So 5-3. You just need to get one more right to beat chat. You just need one more correct. You need one more correct. And it is not getting any easier, my friend. Here's your second to last.
Worst case, we tied. That's fine. That's fine. I could be an even playing field. What the? Okay, hold on. I'm going to try my best to read this. Raidraptor Rising Rebellion Falcon. That seems correct.
I'm sorry. This is the best image of this card I could find.
You are fine. That is, I mean, the art looking pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie to you.
The art looks cool. The art looks cool.
A winged beast, and it's XYZ 5 level 13 winged beast monsters.
I will let you know you don't. That is irrelevant.
Unaffected by other card effects. If this card is XYZ summoned, you can destroy as many cards your opponent controls as possible. Then, if this card has 3 or more Raidraptor XYZ monsters with different names as material, inflict damage to your opponent equal to their combined original attack of the destroyed monsters. Once per turn, you can detach 3 materials from this card, then target 1 Raidraptor XYZ monster in your graveyard. This card gains that monster's effect until the end phase. Okay, so just so I'm clarifying here, when it inflicts damage, it is doing damage equal to the amount of monsters that I remove from the board?
Correct. So it says you destroy as many cards as possible that your opponent controls. So it's a one-sided board wipe. And then if it has 3 or more materials with different names as material, which, spoiler, it will, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the combined original attack of the destroyed monster. So if they have 3 monsters with 3,000 attack, you blow them all up, they take 9,000 damage, and you win the game. Again, just as an example. As an example.
Is this easy to? You said this is easy to get out.
I don't want to say easy, but it is doable.
5 level 13 wing beast monsters.
So you're cheating this card out with another card, essentially. So that's why the 5 level 13s doesn't matter.
Okay, so if I cheat it out, is it still XYZ summoned?
Yes, because the card that cheats it out, it says it's considered an XYZ summon. Yes.
Okay. I think that's probably important to know. Okay,
I can show you the card if you want, but then you have to do more reading, so I'm saving you the trouble.
I trust you. As long as it does the XYZ stuff, that's fine. Okay, so if my opponent has no monsters, this does no damage.
Well, you can smack them for 4,000. I mean,
yeah.
Like you can still do that.
It was like haste in a sense. Turn it's summon as long as it's not turn 1.
And that is half your opponent's life points. So.
Do you want to play this going first? Like, this is a weird one where it's like going first may be worse because you kind of want to go second to destroy everything they just set up.
Well, it does say it's unaffected by other card effects. So, like, even if you did play this going first, your opponent's probably not going to have an out to it. They might, but it might not be, likely.
What are the attacks or like effect? Well, no, I guess the attacks don't really matter, but like the Raidraptors, like, are their effects like really, really strong?
Debatable. There are some very good ones, and there's a bunch of ones that are like okay.
That doesn't give me any confidence in this. It's weird because I think, yeah, it's cool that it's unaffected by other card effects. That's awesome.
I will say, I mean, we've seen this in a couple other card effects. Typically, if you summon a thing that says unaffected by other card effects, that should be enough to win you the game under most circumstances. Not all the time. Most decks, especially game 1, do not have outs to a card like this, unless it is like, this is the best deck and people are like main decking cards to out this card.
How much redundancy does this deck have?
You can also summon this on the opponent's turn, for context, because the spell card to summon this is a quick play, so you can use it at instant speed on the opponent's turn.
That is spicy.
Does that change your mind?
That is. So the thing is like the card probably is good, but the issue is if the way that you're getting it out is this one card, and my opponent has an answer to it before it even gets to get like cast or whatever, or like resolve. This is not coming out. This is sitting in your extra deck.
That's if they have an answer to it. I will say, I don't think there are many ways to, because like a hand trap, I don't think stops this. None that I can think. I don't think there's a single hand trap that stops this card. Maybe like one. So your opponent would have to have like their own negation put up prior to you activating this, which is, depending on the deck, not necessarily easy to do. There's a couple hand traps, I think, at most that can stop this. And they're not like, I think one is kind of common and like the other ones are more obscure. So like there's one card that might stop this in their entire deck that they might have like multiple copies of.
The question ends up being is like, how do you beat it then? Right? Like, and then it's like,
if they summon this, how do they beat it?
Yeah, how do you beat this card?
So you either have to kill it in battle, which it is 4,000 attack, so good luck. There are cards, I think I showed them to you before, they're called kaijus. You tribute over an opponent's monster to summon it. So that's another way. But kaijus are not typically played in the main deck. They're usually sideboarded for bullshit like this. Unless the deck is that good that you have to main deck them as like part of the meta game.
Oh, okay. So if this is out turn 1, you might just lose the game straight up.
It is very possible, yes. Like, you may not be able to kill this card going first. Or if your opponent goes first and they play this on you.
Is this the greatest bait of all time?
It's possible.
Like, I'm thinking this through because like Hearthstone's had really big minions that like they're great, but then sometimes they're just not enough. But that's also because we have to spend mana on them.
That's true. We're in our game, everything's free.
This is a free big boy that if you go second and or first, it's really good. So the question ends up being for me is like, how likely are you to summon this card? Because the card itself is fine. Not just fine, it's probably good. So
like I said, so it's pretty feasible to, like, the deck is designed to summon this turn 1 or on your opponent's turn 1. That's like the whole purpose of the deck. And so it's very easy for you to find the spell to do that. And if you summon it on your turn going first, it's the thing that's unaffected by other card effects. If you summon it during your opponent's turn, you get to nuke their whole board. And that could just win the game because then they have no follow-up. You hit them for 4,000. They can't out an unaffected by card effect card, and you just win the game.
Okay, so then the question ends up being, if this is very good, Konami just has to ban this because it's so gross.
And I will say, historically, they have banned cards that say unaffected by other card effects. Because that is like the biggest bullshit line of text on a single card.
Yeah, I'm really, God, I want to lean in and say this is very good and banned.
Okay.
But everything you just said claims like it's like a very toxic play pattern. That
right, because it's like not interactive, right? It's like, oh, you summon this thing, great, I can't do anything about it, you win. Like, okay, cool. Like, that's not very fun.
Yeah, the thing is like, okay, so I gotta really think of the other ass or the other perspective here. Why would this be bad? You're playing this whole, like, it's in your extra deck, so you always have it. You just need to find the one card that allows you to summon it. You said that it's very easy to find, so you're guaranteed to get this on turn 1, turn 2, depending on who's going first. Your opponent can't answer this card unless they stop it from being summoned.
Yeah, I will say if you summon this card, you were probably winning the game. Like, there's like a 95% chance you're winning the game.
Okay, I'm gonna go with it's probably really good, but I don't think it's banned either. I think what they would do if they're gonna ban this is probably the card that summons it.
Okay.
Or something along those lines. Because I think like the cards like this probably could exist. They would probably want you to do the actual summoning requirement, not just like how I'm cheating it out like this. I would hope, rather than just banning the good card or the payoff for it. So I will go with it's good, but it's not banned. Is it banned?
You are correct. You beat chat. You beat chat. So another great example of really busted crazy payoff card, but kind of in a mid-ish deck, if you will. I don't want to say people have never lost to this card, but it is your typical example of like, you go first, you try to summon this. If they stop you, you probably fucking lose. If you summon it, you probably fucking win. So it's very similar to like the super Quantal guy or different things like that. There's a very like obvious trajectory with a lot of these boss monsters. Going second, it was like, again, it's fine if you go second, but your opponent has more interruptions to stop you if you go second. So it's even harder to summon this out. If you can, you probably win the game though. It's just it was a meta deck for like a super short period of time, but like not very long. Like I want to say like a week at tops. It was not the it got very eclipsed very quickly by other decks. It was fine. It was you know, it's annoying but fine. Like it's at this point it's like rogue at best.
Okay. We take those.
You got it. Congratulations. There is still one last card chat wanted you to look at, and we saved the best for last. Here you go.
The unstoppable Exodia Incarnate.
It's Exodia. You know Exodia.
5 forbidden 1 monsters for fusion summon. Okay. Cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. Once per turn, if this card battles during damage calculation, you can make this card gain attack equal to your life points. Once per turn, when a spell/trap card or effect is activated, quick effect, you can negate that activation. Once per turn during the end phase, you could set 1 Exod or obliterate spell/trap from your deck. Once per turn during standby phase, lose 1,000 life points.
Yes. So the 5 forbidden 1 monsters are, of course, the 5 pieces of Exodia. I guess I will show you this card for a little bit of context because this is the way that you summon him.
Why would I use this over just regular Exodia?
Great question. Give the Ankh a read.
Okay, Millennium Ankh. Show 5 forbidden 1 monster cards from your hand, deck, and or face-up field. Then special summon 1 the unstoppable Exodia Incarnate from your extra deck. Then shuffle the face-up monster cards you control into the deck. Except Exodia monster cards where original levels are 10 or higher. And Millennium monster cards, also you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn. You got summoned for the rest of the turn, sorry. After activation, shuffle this card into the deck instead of sending it to the graveyard. Yep,
so basically you play the Ankh, you go into your deck or your hand or wherever to show them the 5 pieces of Exodia, and then you just get to play this guy for free.
Yeah, I mean, he's cool.
It's Exodia, of course he's cool.
I don't think he's good. I'm gonna be honest. I think this is the weird line I think you're taking here. You're using the Ankh to actually find all pieces of Exodia, put them in like your graveyard or something, and then
no, you just reveal them. So they don't go to the graveyard. You just you literally just go into your deck and show them the pieces, and then they go back.
So you just play this, and then you get the unstoppable Exodia.
Yeah. And the Ankh is searchable. It's not like you have to hard draw it or anything.
So in theory, if my opponent doesn't do anything, I could just kill them on turn 2 with this.
Theoretically, because you gain 8,000 life points when you declare an attack. That's correct.
What an interesting card, though. Sorry, I thought I misinterpreted the Ankh, man. I thought like you had to send those pieces to the. But I guess if you're just showing.
So if you have another Ankh, you could summon another Exodia Incarnate if you still have the 5 pieces, hypothetically. Yu-Gi-Oh's great, isn't it?
What the fuck? Is this even good? Like, I'm so confused. I guess you get one negation, but it only spell/trap card. And then it's like, what's like obliterate an Exod?
They're like fine cards. I think one of them just blows up all your opponent's stuff. Here, I can show you if you want.
You draw them from the deck though, right? So like
you set it directly from the deck. It goes to your field, but yeah. So here's obliterate if you want some context.
You target one monster in the field, summon one forbidden monster or Exodia card from your hand or deck to the graveyard. You do return that target to the hand. If this card is sent from the spell/trap card to the graveyard, you can target one forbidden monster card from your graveyard and add it to your hand. Oh, see, like, I mean, I'm kind of cooking with the...
And here's Exod.
Kind of cooking with the pieces. This card is always treated as an Exod or obliterate card. If you control a level 10 or higher Exodia monster, destroy all card your opponent controls. If this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish it and then activate one of these effects. Add one forbidden one monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Shuffle up to 5 forbidden one monster in the graveyard or banishment into your, I guess that's just banish zone.
That's banish zone. Yeah, they call it banishment.
Okay, so you can kind of cook on my idea here where you just kind of slowly add all the pieces to your hand, but I'm not sure that's really what you want to do. It seems a little slow.
Yeah, it's a bit slow. You can, okay, so, hypothetically, but...
So if I'm going second, well, if I'm going first, my opponent, I play this, I can stop one trap card and that's my deck. Unless there's like more things you're going to be doing with it. But that means you have to run...
Okay, let me think about how you're doing this deck here. It's 40 cards.
40 cards, yep.
Exodia's in your extra deck, which doesn't count to the 40 cards, correct? Actually,
correct. That's the extra deck. Yep.
Okay, so then you're running 3 Millenniums to find this as soon as possible because that's the redundancy. You probably run like 1 obliterate and 1 Exod minimum just to have. Ooh,
he's learning, chat. He's learning. Look at that.
And then you have every piece so that you can find it. You would theoretically only want on 1 copy of each piece because of that. But then I guess you're running this in the same deck as the Exodia pieces. Just like
you do have to have the Exodia pieces to play this. Yeah, so that's 5 basically cards in your deck that do nothing.
I don't know if that's even good. I'm really thinking it's not.
So at minimum, you're gonna have a spell and trap negate. You might have a giant guy if you go second, and then you get to have a board wipe that your opponent has to deal with on their turn. Minimum, like you could have more than that, but that's just like off of Exodia itself.
Wait, when was it printed?
This was printed last year.
So weird. Oh no.
About a year ago. Okay. About a year ago.
1 year ago for this.
Yep, July of 2024.
You're using a card to pull a card from your extra deck, and then you get to get 1 trap/spell card.
So you're wasting 1 card to get another card, and then you get this big guy on field. One Exodia is fine. Is that really gonna win you a game? I guess you're fine using the like you're running so much like ass in your deck for this. So
yeah.
You gotta really hope. Oh wait, hold on. Hold on. Here's the cook.
Okay.
You run 3 Exodia Incarnates in your extra deck, and then you use 3 Onks. You have 3 on the board. GGA1.
You could only summon 1 per turn, but in the course of a couple turns, you could do that. Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
You were overcooking a little bit there. You're overcooking a little bit.
No, I think it's bad. I'm really trying to talk myself into this. I guess like the one positive of this is like maybe you just have all Exodia pieces in your hand you want to turn on.
Yeah.
That's where I'm leaning to.
Okay. Sure.
I think it's bad. So I'm gonna go with bad. The only thing that's stopping me is that Konami wants to.
Konami's accurate.
They want to sell cards, and Exodia is that guy.
Okay.
Like that is the most iconic card in all of Yu-Gi-Oh, other than probably Blue Eyes. Like, if I'm making this card in 2024, I want people to play this card. I really want them to. Then I'm leaning towards maybe they would, but like, man, that does not seem like I just don't think it's banned. There's no way. If they're gonna ban anything, yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
You are correct. This card's fine.
Okay.
This card's not bad though. This card's actually quite good. This might shock you. This card and deck actually beat Tier Element, the best like Yu-Gi-Oh deck of all time. There's a feature match play with this Exodia versus Tier Element. It's a very popular, notorious one where this deck actually beat what's considered the best Yu-Gi-Oh deck of all time. Obviously, this is not gonna happen all the time, but it was a very funny feature match and very, very great. So, yeah, so Konami does this thing where every now and then they like to, and I imagine Hearthstone does the same, where they retrain some like older cards. And so this is like the new Exodia support, if you will, because everyone loves Exodia from the anime. I think it would be rough if they banned any Exodia stuff, because I think it's such like a popular card like from the anime that if they banned it, I think people would like not take too kindly to that, because it's like that'd be like them banning Blue Eyes White Dragon or something, right? Maybe they would have to, but I think that definitely there's a conflict there for sure. But no, the new Exodia stuff is actually quite good. Yeah, you may not be activating Exodia in the traditional way where you assemble all 5 pieces and win the game that way. You can do that. Like, Unstoppable Exodia Incarnate is still a very strong card, like, in and of its own right. Its spell and trap negates fine. It sets a board wipe that your opponent has to play through, which is, like, not super common, especially at, like, quick effect speed. And then he just is fucking huge. Like you said, like, if you don't have an answer to him, like, turn 1, he can just 8K you to the fucking face. And there's, like, other stuff you could be doing with this deck as well that obviously I didn't show you. But, like, at its base form, this is actually a surprisingly good card. It may not seem like it, and you might, like you said, you might have to play a lot of junk in the deck. That's one of the downsides, is that in Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes you have to play some bad cards, so your good cards are good. No, this deck has, like, won regionals. It's done, like, quite well. I wouldn't say it's, like, a tier 1 meta threat or anything, but it's actually, like, surprisingly a lot better than you would think it is on the surface. Very good card. Very good card. Yeah, but he's totally fine. And like I said, I don't think they would ever ban an Exodia card just because, like, it's Exodia. You know, it's not the original Exodia, but even the original pieces got limited to a singular copy. I don't think they'd ever ban the Exodia pieces, you know? It just, like, it feels wrong almost that they would do that. So you did it. You beat chat. How do you feel?
I mean, it was obvious I was gonna win, so I feel pretty good.
Oh, chat's not gonna like that. So guys, that's gonna wrap it up for another video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Let's go ahead and shout out the patrons for all their continued support. So shout out to Shout1317, Tim00x3, MBT Play Madolce, Moto, Cameron L. Smith, The Synchro Guy, Pony Stark, Little Fade Leaf, Dan the Man Hoban, Draconic, Daniel Howell, Brian Denser of Class 7, Dylan Rare Hunter, JW11860, Flannel Daddy, literally all of the guinea pigs, MBT canceled by a community soon, canceled by all committees soon, canceled by all players soon, MBT and Nimnim's 1 Boxer Brief Fueled Night of Passion, Electrician of the Ice Barrier, The Nova 129, Chris Adams, and Pink Frappe. Thank you again so much, and we will see you next time.